Okay, so hi everybody. So today I have Nina Clausen with us. She is a former Gut Thrive and Five program. She's an alumni. She finished the program 3 months ago. And so today I'm going to let her introduce herself and kind of give us a gist of like what the program was about, and what was her experience when it came to working with a health coach. So hi Nina.
Hi, Amy.
So how are you doing today?
Pretty good.
Good. So my first question my first that you can share with the audience is, how did you hear about me and what led you to contact me about Gut Thrive and Five?
Well, I heard about you through a friend of a friend, actually, that you had helped. And what led me there was that in the last, like 2 years ago, I had two major surgeries. And they gave me just tons and tons of antibiotics. And I think ever since then, I was never able to properly digest. I was having huge gut problems, gas and bloating and everything like that. And so that's what led me to contact you. I couldn't help myself, and I couldn't take it anymore, and the doctors weren't helping.
And I remember that. So Nina contacted me when I was in between transitioning from ending a full-time career to put everything I have into my health coaching and this program in particular. And I wasn't planning to take any clients until June. And when she reached out to me, it was April. And we had our free 20-minute phone consultation. And I remember this very vividly. She was like, I can't wait. You were in that much like
Stress,
desperation, yeah, and pain, that you were like, I just don't think I can wait. And I remember saying, okay, I'll figure out how to do this because my schedule was so busy with traveling and stuff. And fortunately, we made it work. And
yeah,
I'm so glad I did because one, you were a great
too.
client, very on top of everything. And that's a health coach's dream, is to have clients who follow the process and trust the process. And, honestly, give 100%, just as much as we're giving you, you're giving to us. And so at the end of the day, it was just like, I'm so glad we both kind of found that happy ground and we were able to make it work. So was this your first experience with working with a health coach?
Oh, yes. I had never had any health problems prior to this. I was really lost. So it was really a good thing that, that friend recommended you to me.
Yeah, because share with the audience. You have a very active lifestyle,
Yeah.
and we're kind of like, you were continuing that active lifestyle while going through the program. Tell them kind of like what you do.
Well, actually, I'm retired, but I play racquetball several times a week, and I do Pilates reformer. And then, if I don't do that, then I'll usually work out some at the gym or just walk. So, yeah, I've always been really active, and, I've enjoyed good health my whole life.
Yes, and so that I remember that going through that, and so this time in your life where health wasn't, it was slightly absent. It bothered you, and we had to figure out ways to continue helping you maintain that lifestyle because she was dealing with a lot of cramping, and dehydration issues.
Mhm.
And so where are you at this time with some of that?
I'm doing really well, I think. I still struggle a little bit with constipation, but other than that, I mean, I'm 1,000% better than I was when we first talked. I was getting so I was afraid to eat,
Yeah.
or I was afraid to go out because I was afraid I would have an attack. And that was just, everything was snowballing. So and
Yeah.
I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, so that was like, I mean, the impact it had on the quality of life. And that was the big thing that I remember. And so oftentimes I always say this, people reach out to me with that digestive symptom. That's their biggest concern. And what I don't think people realize is that one, it affects your quality of life, but ultimately it affects your mood. And there
Mhm.
is that gut brain connection. Was there anything going through the program or after the program that you discovered that you never thought you would like even begin to experience when you reached out to me in the first place. But by the end, you're like, wow, it not only helped this, but like I'm seeing things from a different view in this area too.
Yeah, it's really helpful to realize that so much of it is mental. You know, I think you told me at the end that I didn't really have food allergies. It was more stress.
Yeah.
And that was really surprising to me, the effect that stress can have on health.
Yes.
So that was a real eye opener for me.
And I think that's where most of my clients, it's like you start out, like I said, with digestive issues that people are like, I need help with that. But then as the program evolves, the more we get into it, we start to realize stress is the biggest
Yeah.
impact. And I think that's what most people walk away kind of surprised about, like you said. And we actually start addressing the body's stress response the most. And actually, I forgot to mention this, she had SIBO. So that's a very common, it's been the highest category I've had with my clients. And I am learning more and more about the connection in SIBO, with SIBO and stress, and the importance of maintaining your stress response low, because there's that valve that connects the large intestine to the small intestine. And when stress is high, that valve remains open. And so that means bacteria can go back up into the small intestine, causing relapses. And so when people get SIBO over and then they get frustrated, it goes back to that stress response. And, you know, that's kind of the cool thing about Gut Thriving 5 is that we kind of address that along the way.
Yeah, and medical doctors do not ever address that. I mean,
yeah, and it's unfortunate. But how would you describe the process of Gut Thriving 5?
well, I would say it was rigorous, you know, as far as the diet goes, but I was able to see some progress almost immediately, you know, so, and that really helped me to not eat anything that I love. No grain, no dairy, no sugar, what?
But you were good. Like you really did a good job with taking those recipes that came with the guide. You
Oh,
made
yeah.
mayo, you made certain things that I have yet to try. And so again, that's where like, would you say the program is set up for success?
Oh, yeah.
Somebody decides to do it?
Absolutely. You know, if you're experiencing those dietary, I mean, those, you know, those stomach problems, and you use the diet as well as all the supplements, you know, that's, and they're not like harsh medicines. You know, when I had a little bit of problems adjusting the amounts sometimes, but overall the supplements were very mild and very effective.
Yes, and that again is where oftentimes when people try to do things alone, solo, and they're so confused about what they should do.
Yeah.
As a Gut Thrive practitioner, we work with our clients and we have to make adjustments based on how they respond to the supplement. And so that's very good feedback for the audience. But yeah, it's rigorous. But I always say if you work the program will work for you.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and so you were case in point, classic example for some of that. And, you know, you did a fabulous job. And yeah, it's one of those things as a health coach that you work with your clients for months. Each week we meet once a week. And I think that's really what is the game changer in terms of keeping people on track with something so rigorous. But you meet with people once a week that you just start getting used to seeing them regularly, and you're able to work through challenges, but you get to know people, right? And
well, it's super supportive to have somebody to talk you through all this too. I don't think I could have done it alone without our meetings every week.
because you know, I'll be honest, I have done programs that I did solo, and I didn't watch all the, I took the supplements, I think this is the difference between working with a coach and doing it by yourself. You'll
Yeah,
take the supplements, you'll follow the guidelines to a certain extent with the dietary, but you're not really working the program. You're not really watching and learning and all this.
uh-huh.
And so I feel like that's what makes it slightly different. But it always helps when you have a good client. And so how have you been feeling post GT5 in
I've
general?
been feeling a lot better. I don't have that anxiety about going out and eating and things like that, and the SIBO is completely gone.
Good,
So
very good.
I feel like I'm doing well.
You look good.
Thanks.
Good. And I remember that was, because again, I think your lifestyle, you were very active. You played racquetball, like you said, Pilates and all that, but you also went out to lunch and dinner with your friends. And so not being able to eat normally for quite some time, yeah, it has such an impact on, like you were saying, just even your emotional state when that's such a part of your life.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this is all really good information. And it was wonderful for everyone to hear your story. And we'll continue, because what I'm planning to do, and I will keep everyone posted, is I don't want to leave clients just hanging when the program's done, because like I just said, you develop a relationship with your client that you get used to seeing them and chatting with them, that I just don't want to cut it off, that I'm going to let everybody, I'm working on a membership plan. And so anybody who signs up or is an alumni of Gut Thrive and 5 program, you'll get a year where you can just transition and continue just getting some information. It'll be like a weekly class and ebook, stuff like that, just to help clients continue evolving. And so I feel like, that would be something great when suddenly you're like, so how are you 3 months later?
Yeah.
Just,
No, I think that's a great idea.
continue it on, because you want to see them continuing to improve. Because I feel like a healing journey is about a year-long process.
Yeah, but I still have a little ways to go, I think.
And so especially with that stress response, right?
Yeah.
And so the more, you can help people, because I think people resolve the SIBO or H. pylori or the parasite or whatnot. But I think the stress response is where the continuing support needs to be addressed, in order for the body to maintain a state of balance and healing. So, yeah,
It's
so
good to feel like you're not alone.
yes.
That is critical. I think.
And I think that's, again, what goes back to health coaching versus solo.
Yeah.
It really, really helps. So I thank you. And you share, your story is a great one, because a lot of people are struggling with diverticulitis and they don't know what to do. And
Yeah, they don't even recognize it a lot of times.
yeah, and they just tell you to avoid certain foods. But in the meantime, you have a gut that just needs some attention and addressing.
Yeah.
And the diverticulitis is often a result of something going on in the system. So yeah, it's good for people to know that you can get the help, the work to continue to heal. So thank you, Nina. We're going to end this recording.
Okay.
And this is where